Hello everyone. It's Dheeraj Chauhan, and as many of you guys were waiting for this video, so here we are gonna make this CP and DSA resources kind of video. We will have some content where first of all I would like to give my introduction as it's been many days, and it's better to know it's better to know whom you are taking the tips or introduction the resources. And the first thing I would like to say that I'm not that experienced, I would like to say, because I started like 3 or 4 months ago. And yeah, whatever I've achieved, I would like to share, and whatever things I used when I was starting out, that all things I would like to say in this video. And this video will be little bit long, around 20 plus minutes. I'm not sure. I'm still recording, so let's hope it doesn't go that much. But yeah, if you guys want some coffee or tea, whatever you wanna get, and there is no need to make any notes. I will give all the links in the description. So let's get started. So we will cover introduction and some things which I would like to clear before any of you guys start any CP journey or anything. Then some recommendation which I use and which I just love them. And the second last will be, or the main topic will be how to start your CP journey and what resources you could use, which I have and I have used. And the last will be DSA and its resources, where and DSA is obviously the most important, as all the interviews will be on that. So yeah, so let's start. So the first will be nothing but my introduction. So I'm Dheeraj Chauhan. I'm from Thakur College of Engineering. I'm in my second year doing computer engineering, and I just got an internship at as an Android developer intern at Circles. It's been around 1 week, I guess, and yeah, it's been going good. And the site which I've used most for competitive programming, which is CodeChef, and I'm 3 star at CodeChef there with a rating around 1700. And the activity has been going little less there, as I have so much work going on, and I don't have much experience at Codeforces. I've just started out, so hope if I make another video after a month, then you might be seeing anything related to CodeChef, yeah, Codeforces, yeah. So yeah, the next part is I would like to talk about the standoffs, whereas many people say, should I just do CP or should I just do projects? And if I'm doing too much CP, then how will I do projects? And if I'm just doing projects, then how am I gonna increase my algorithm skills? How am I gonna increase my programming skills? So let's just clear some parts first. Um, the main thing about CP is, if you like it, then you like it. If you're not able to do, then you're not able to do. It's not the end of the world. It's just a contest where you do problems really fast. Now there is nothing mandatory about that you have to do CP to get jobs, or if you have to do this to get jobs. But yes, you have to have DSA. That's why I started the video as saying that DSA is the most important. Now, obviously, if you're doing CP, then it will not always be the easy things. Obviously, the difficulty increases. You get data structure problems where you solve them, and algorithm is just everywhere. Any problem you're gonna do, you're gonna use algorithms. So yeah, so the first thing will be just to say that just doing CP, you won't get anything, and you can get if you are really good at CP. You can get referrals for sure if you are really good at CP. That's what I think. That's why I like to make balance between doing competitive programming because I like it, doing some projects and to make them good too, because I'm not sure if I will be that good at CP. So it's better to have balance. And also I do DSA, as late code is just so good for me. And yeah, I tried. And the last thing comes open source, which I also love it because it's just such a good community to like do your projects, to meet, not actually meet, like virtually meet and talk with them and have sharing thoughts and all. So yeah, so it's my advice will be to, it's better to maintain a balance between doing competitive programming, doing projects for yourself, because it there should be something in your resume showing what projects you did in your 4 years. And DSA is the most important. You just can't skip it. It's like a thing. You just can't skip it. Yes, and there is nothing that you if you should be knowing CP to DSA. It's there is no mandatory field for one and another. And the last is open source, and it has increased a lot, so it's better if you do it, and it's not like some high level stuff. It's always good. Everyone is beginner when they start, and everyone gets better and better and better. If you're gonna see some new project from someone, even if you're expert, it will take a little bit of time to understand what the project the guy has done and what I can try to improve or anything. So there is nothing beginner expert there. It takes time, and it all depends on your consistency and how much time you give to practice and how much you wanna give it to it to see a bright future. So now we have covered the most main topic, which is nothing but what should I do and how to do things. And the next content will be some recommendation which I would like to give. So the first will be nothing but um, Todoist, which I just love the app as it's just too good, and I've been using from 1 year, and I just really like it. It has so many integrations, it has so many features, and it is literally on every OS if I'm not sure, and if I'm sure, and it's just so good. And as you can see, I made this roadmap when I not started out like around 1 month, and I added all the things. What's a simple to do? What resources I can have directly from your website contest, some tips which just ignore the comments, and some search algorithms obviously, and DSL list. And yeah, so it's just really good. If you would like to try, I will give a link in the description for all the OS, I guess, because yeah, people use as Windows. I mean, cringe. And yeah, so if you like to use Todoist, it's not just this. I have the other things too, but I just won't share the information of my daily Todoist. And yeah, it has project features. As you can see, you can add many people into this thing. You can add directly integration of Google, where if you yeah, so about the Google thing, I'm gonna go for the next thing, and I'm not sure if I can show directly from here. So there is this app called Truecoder, which I love to use because it has all the content um, for if can is this here? Yeah, so it contains all the contest information. It has Code Chef, it has Code Forces, it has Top Coder, Google, at Coder too. So it just shows you directly what when the contest is gonna be there. You can directly add on your Google. And as I was saying about Google integration, I directly get all the things in my to-do list from this app, so I can directly know, okay, today is the contest, so I'm gonna save much time for that. So I just love this app too. So yeah, go if you wanna if you would like to get contest details without even going anywhere, just by opening and directly. So what I like to do, I just do 1 month contest directly to Google, and so I can just chill and directly open to-do list as I open every day, and I directly can see that when I'm gonna get the contest or when is the contest. And yeah, so if you wanna use this app, go download this, and it's an open source. You can also see the GitHub of this, and yeah, the guy has made really good app. If you wanna share some features or anything, but for now the guy is making the whole app again, as I've talked with him on mail. And yeah, not a good time to add features, but yeah, you can sure check GitHub and whatever you would like to do. So this all will be this all I have for the some recommendation which are, and now let's just start with competitive programming as you guys have been waiting for. So yeah, how to start competitive programming? Okay. Um, Now I'm not gonna talk about like literally beginner who has just joined the college. It's been a year for us now, and there are no freshers yet. So I'm just gonna talk about us. Like, so obviously, one language you should start with. Which I'm pretty sure you guys already have your favorite programming language. Let it be Python, C++, Java, C, whatever language you want. And then the main concern comes where you have not started doing contest, or you're just not doing the problems. So what I have, as I showed you in to-do list, what I made, and that's all I'm gonna talk about today. And I'm not an expert. You don't have to agree with my things. You can do on your own. You can go watch other videos about the resources or roadmap or whatever they call it. So yeah. So the simple will be nothing but at least solving, like as a starting point, it will be nothing but just solving, at least start solving, and the goal can be starting with at least two problems solved with having. And if you're going to do competitive programming, then it's better to start with a timer around you and just have a timer like around 30 minutes 40 minutes that I should be able to at least implement the algorithm which I'm going to solve the question, and try to write code under that much time. And if I'm not able to, which means just it's better to just watch some hint, not the whole solution, obviously. It's better to watch some, or it's better to go see someone's code and just see some part of it and just know, okay, I can try to do this. Like if a problem is something like this and you're practicing, so you can see a tags, which is mostly on all contests. So you can just see the tags, like, okay, tags is about sorting. So you can start thinking about that part, like, okay, so the tag contains sorting, which means I can do something with sorting, and then you try to do something with sorting, and yeah, so that's how you should be solving the questions if you didn't know till yet. And the next part will be nothing but to keep on increasing difficulties, because being in a comfort zone is just not a good thing. Let it be in life, let it be in competitive programming. So if you wanna grow, you have to increase difficulties. You have to be in the uncomfortable zone, and that's where you have to crack the things or drop kick a child. I will just cut that out. Okay, so and the nothing, the different part will be okay. Just ignore this, dude. Um, the next part will be try to solve problems from different websites, because it's just good to have a little bit um, how do I say, like it's good to be solving from different websites, because all the websites or all the question setters are a little bit different. Like CodeChef have always the test cases and like a long paragraph um, question details, which I really hated, because I don't want to know if a person likes chocolates or thing. Just tell me the direct question. Okay. So yeah, so just try to solve problems from different websites. And as I've said, websites are in the resources, which contains CodeChef, Hacker Earth. I really don't use much, because I mean I don't want to solve from five different. I will rather like two or three uh, sites, but it's on you if you wanna share. Like you can make a timetable where are you gonna, or it's totally on the mood. It's not like if you will do from one website, then it's not bad, or it's like something bad to like, oh, I'm not gonna grow. It's totally on your personal thing, where if you wanna like, if you get bored after doing same problems from, not same problem, like same type of problems from the one side, so you can obviously go for different websites. And I will try to share um, I will try to share all the links in the description, but I have to figure a thing to give all the links to, but I will give it a try, yeah. And the last will be participate in contest as much as possible, because that's how you know you are growing in the because it's competitive program. You can't just keep on solving questions virtually or just without being in a contest, because that that's where you actually get to know that, okay, I am able to solve, but I'm just not able to solve in contest, or I'm just not able to increase the speed to solve the problem. So that's where the real competition comes in competitive programming. And it's just fun to do contests and know your ratings. And obviously, if it's competitive programming, there is just too much motivation, but as because it's not always your win day, you have to lose, and sometimes it just becomes too much lose here. But if you be consistent, and if you wanna go through the journey, then you have to do all this and you have to get better. And as I told you, there is no mandatory. Won't it is not mandatory to do CP to get any jobs or get big companies. It's totally on you. If you like it, if you are able to do it, then you do. But that doesn't matter that if you just do for 1 month and you think, okay, it's just not for me. obviously you give a little bit time and you try to get better. And if you're still not able to see any progress, then I would say that you can totally skip CP and focus on DSA and projects, or good projects, and I guess that will be more than enough. But obviously you also have to be better at those things too. Now let's talk about resources, which are HackerEarth problems. There are Codeforces has virtual contest, which is pretty good because you get to see the same thing, but not like you will not be getting any ratings, but you will still be in the contest where you have to complete in like 3 or 2 hours, and you can directly see how good you did with the people who did the thing. Now, if there is Codeforces, then there is obviously A2J ladder, which is just too good. I just love them because the questions from the A2J just directly tell you the difficulties, and you can always go up and down as you like it. And then whole roadmap, which I saw in some YouTuber video, which I don't remember. I don't use this much, but yeah, it's sometimes it just if I just think, okay, I might not be on the same. Okay, yeah, this is from by Love Babbar. Yeah, I don't know much about this guy, but yeah. So this is the theory. You can see all the topics, how you can start, and I guess it's about total CP. Yeah. So you can see the time it takes. Like it obviously it's on a personal person to person, how good is the guy and how can the guy gives, and there is no meaning to give this much hours. I would like to say that do some CP like 3 or 4 problems a day, which if you go with 30 minutes per question, then you can obviously do complete in 2 or 2 30 hours, 2.30 hours, and other time can be given to open source or doing some projects which you can show on your resume. And yeah, this all are the topics. I would give this link. You all can check out. They all contains links, and there are some tips too if you want. But obviously, you're gonna watch my video, so why would you take these tips? And yeah, this is a roadmap which I have not used much, but I might use it someday. Yeah. And the last, then there is hacker rank algorithms, which is pretty good, and special mention to Jwala who told me about the algorithms, which was it's the algorithms which it has here. It contains really good. I'm not solved that much because I hardly get time from other thing, but yeah, I've seen the questions and they are really good to see because it just contains really variety of questions which I just like it. And I have done questions, not particularly to this, but yeah, I know about HackerRank and it is good website, so you can start with something from here. And website contests can be there are CodeChef, HackerEarth, CodeForces, AdCoder, LeetCode, which is I won't tell I don't use LeetCode for like I've used other for contest, but I don't usually use LeetCode for contest. I just like to just directly solve questions of the like I mean everyone knows LeetCode is for DSA, and yeah, I don't give contest there, but I like to solve problems there because it just contains so many problems and it's just really good for DSA. I just love it. And some tips, and you can totally ignore. I don't know why I've written imagine using tips, noob, or whatever. Um, and the first will be dry run. Now, what is dry run? That rather than directly starting coding, like let's say I have a binary search, or let's yeah, okay, binary search will be a lot. If you have any algorithm, rather than directly starting coding, it's better to do some writing. Like you can obviously use whiteboard, or you can directly start writing in book and see check if the algorithm which I'm gonna use or which I'm gonna write code will it even work, or is there are there any test cases which I can miss? Are there any side cases which I might be uh, which I might be losing and I might get wrong answer directly. So it's better always to dry run and see, okay, my if I use I equals to 1, okay, what's happening? And then if I go, okay, then okay, I think the code will work. Then it's better to try running code, and yeah, it's way better. You guys can try it, and I also tried, but obviously not for the easiest questions. And obviously CP is about timing, so sometimes doing dry run might cause you some amount of time, but if you're just not able to get, so it's always good to start with dry run and see, okay, what actually I'm gonna do. And for DSA this will be a really good thing. And after contest analysis, which everyone knows, there is no meaning of just keep doing contest if you're not gonna see your mistakes where actually you are giving your mistakes. Most people just don't do this and just move on. Okay, I was not able to solve this problem. Okay, whatever. I will just try to do. And the other contests they also won't be able to solve because they just are just not practicing the questions which they are losing in it. So it's always good to do after contest analysis where you see the questions. Okay, I was not able to do this. Okay, let's see some hints, or let's try to complete this question after the contest and see if you are able to. And you might get some. Okay, oh, I completed this after the contest and I was not able to complete. So it's totally in the contest. It's totally fine. But at least you will get happy that okay, oh yeah, I solved this question without even giving hints or without even looking at hints. And looking at by talking about looking at it, it's totally not some shaming or demotivating. You can always look at hints. I look at hints. Everyone look at hints if when they are just not able to solve questions. So it's better to look at hints rather than banging your hand for a 1 day or 2 days for a one simple question or one question. And the last will be practice. I mean, duh. And we'll come for DSA part later. And yeah, for there is also this. Okay, then forget the SOSI algos. Yeah, but there is CP algorithms. Um, it has definitely it has a lot of content, like a lot of content, but it actually provides some really good algorithms, a really efficient way to do questions, not questions, like efficient way to do algorithms where you can just directly see that, oh, I was doing for ON square or time complexity omega n that I could just directly do by just doing omega 1 or like a constant complexity. So yes, as you can see, we usually do for prime numbers omega n and by doing directly linear time complexity. So it just contains way too many algorithms where you can see where you can decrease your time or where you can just improve the efficiency of your code by using this algorithms. So I will say you can give it a try and you can see. I usually don't go on this site much because there's just a lot of content and it's just really hard to choose which algorithm I wanna see. But yeah, the starting ones I have done and I usually use them and they are really good. And so yeah, I guess this is done for CP. So let's just go to some websites and see how good are they. And I've already said Hacker Rank. Now there is some Code Chef and yeah, I'm 3 star. And so you can so Code Chef has 3 or 4 contests. I guess the starters is also there. Now you can see October long challenges here, and I won't tell you to do long challenge much because it's just 10 days and it's not actually CP. But yeah, it's good to learn new things as you have way much time to learn new things. Like if I go to some thing and I see, oh, what is this or what is like binary trees? Okay, then I can just learn about them and see. And then there are starters. Um, there is cook off. There is lunchtime, and Coach F has had contest, but it doesn't have that much. And if you're 3 star or from Division 2 and Division 1, then you hardly get contest, like a 2 contests for a month. Or if you are in Division 2, then you might get some starters. So yeah, you can give it a try. You can start with Coach Chef, and you can start with Coach Chef for contest. And if you're totally starting with problems or problem solving, then I will tell you you can also go for hacker rank where you can solve the algorithms. You can like get a basic start from where okay how the questions are like that and how questions are there, how you use things, and also yeah, so you can start with hacker rank if you want, and then code forces comes, and code forces is just code. I've started. Okay, I've not entered. I just like the website. I just like this website because it has contest. I will not say every week, but most of the time it is every week, and yeah, it's just really good website where you people are also good and the questions are also good, pretty straightforward, not some good chef big challenge where the question starts the other half from the other half, and yeah, I just like it. And If you are using code forces, then obviously A to J ladders is the thing where you should be looking for. As I told you, to increase difficulty, you can say you can directly get the questions from here. And I usually solve questions, as you can see in my videos, but I'm doing some code chef videos because people are new here and they are starting with code chef. So yeah, I'm just milking them with code chef problems. Yes. Uh, so yeah, code forces is really, this A to J is really good because you can directly see what's the difficulty level. And as I told you about the comfort zone, if you keep doing the same difficulty questions again and again, then obviously you will be motivated because you are able to solve the questions, but also you are not growing. You just keep doing the same difficulty questions where you think, oh, I'm able to solve everything, but as long as you go to difficulty 2, you just know that, oh, okay, I'm just not able to solve this because you're just not going there. And also, while solving a hard question or above difficulty question, it's always to stay there for some time rather than just directly saying the hint. Because if you would like to be in uncomfortable zone, then it's good to be in uncomfortable zone where you stay some time, you make your brain think, okay, how I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna do this, and giving it a time, and then once you solve, at least once you solve the problem, but not even looking at hints and just giving your brain some time, like, okay, I'm gonna give this 30 minutes, then I'm gonna give this 30 minutes, and then only I'm gonna look at hints. Doesn't matter how hard the question is or how easy. I mean, let's just talk about hard. How hard is the problem? And yeah, it's better to do like that rather than just doing for 5 minutes and I'm just not able to understand anything and I will just directly look at him. So that I will call it's a not a good approach, and it contains for every rating, so it's just good, and you can get some extra problems here too. And yeah, but there's just a lot of problems. I'm pretty sure you will grow rather than keep doing 100 problems. And also, rather than also try to do, as I was talking about variety. So what I like to do, I just close my eyes and just click on any links. Like if I'm close and there's this, and I just, okay, nice, I just clicked one. Yeah, so that's what I like to do because if I see like this and like, oh, this might be hard, I won't be able. So it's like my brain works like this. So that's why I close my eyes and I just directly click on any links, and then I just start solving them. So yeah, you can also do if your brain also does like, oh, let's just do easy questions. So we are done with CodeChef, CodeForces, and another site I like, which is AdCoder. And here also I've just started out. It's not been that much, and I'm also not able to give that much contest recently. But yeah, it's fine. The last one was, damn. Um, Actually don't know when did I give the last one. Yeah, so this is also good. It also, I don't usually practice here. Mostly I don't even know if it contains any practice section. Does it even have any practice section? I just directly give contests from here, and yeah, that's all I do here. And I don't even know much about AdCoder, but the questions are pretty straightforward. And yeah, it's good. Yeah, you can go for it. So I guess that's it for the CP. I don't have much for CP now, I guess. Yeah, that's all I have. And if you guys have any doubts about anything else, you can still give in the comments. And as people wanted this video, so I assume that or I just hope that there will be comments which I would like to see and solve your doubts. And yeah, that's it for CP. You can just start from what I said, and the next part will be DSA, which is obviously the most important if you wanna ask me. And just doing CP won't help you at all. You have to do DSA, and yeah, CP does give you DSA. It's not like some. And okay, so everyone knows what CP now. So what is DSA? Now DSA is nothing but data structures and algorithms. There are so many data structures, algorithms. You can just learn by, not learn, like you can understand by CP or any problem solving. Now I should do this again. Wait, drum rolls for the really good website. And boo, LitCode. And I just love this website. It's just so good, so good, so good. The the problems are so good. It just like I just like it because it's just helping me a lot for the DSA, and I'm not that good at DSA. I've not start like I was doing CP like only CP, but as I found out, it's not good to just do one thing, and obviously DSA should be your thing. And third year is coming, internships are gonna come, so it's better if you better get better at the things which are important. So I've started doing DSA, and Lead Code is the thing which I use, and it's just so good. So whoever wanted resources, you can just go to the Lead Code. Have I not logged in? Yeah. So it's just too good. You can use tags. You can what problems you want, difficulty. There are some problems like this. 14 days crack this. So yeah, and you can also I will also give some links to description like how to properly use Lead Code because I just like I don't wonder much. I just go to some questions and just start directly solve because I don't know. I just don't like to waste much time rather than exploring all the things and yeah, just directly start solving. And what else I use? I use um, his playlist, Kunal Kushwaha. The guy is just so good at explaining, and he also gives questions directly, so it's just so good for me. And the guy uses Java though, so if you don't know Java, I guess there is no need for language if you know just programming. So what I do, I just go to any of his question, let's say the binary search algorithm. So what you do, if you don't know the algorithm, you just learn the algorithm as he was explaining till then, and then when the question one starts, you I just directly let's say is given the first. Okay, there are no questions for this. Um, let's say the cycle sort one. You can just directly learn the algorithm to like this, and then when the question one starts, I just see the question. I directly go to Lead Code. I search about this. I try to code. If I don't understand, then obviously there is still a video going on. So that's how I like to do his videos. And obviously I don't have much like I know about Java because I am an Android developer, but I don't you like I'm not that efficient, or I would say I'm not that fluent in that language. So I still prefer CPP, and yeah, you can watch his playlist if you like, and the guy's just doing really good work. You can know about him. The guy's just too good, and yeah, that's how I like to do DSA. And I will say there is no need to have another website other than Lead Code because it's just full of questions, like full of problems. Like there are so many problems. I don't think so. You would like to go anywhere else, and the questions are not that same. The questions are totally on variety, and also while doing questions I would like to say one thing. Let's say go to any question, and I would say you should see this thing, where is this like and dislike ratio. So you should know that if there is less likes and dislikes, or even they are kind of similar, then you should be knowing that the question is not that good, and it's always good to just go to other question rather than doing. And also there are some questions also this, but obviously you can just directly search on Chrome and you can directly go from the gigs of gigs and just directly get solution. So I guess that's all I have for DSA. Now this DSA list, I'm not sure what questions it had, so no need to actually directly go for this final 450. I really don't use this question, so I will still give the link of this if you guys want. But yeah, I don't use this, so I really won't like to promote that. So this is it for I guess DSA. Lit code is way more than what you want. Just have consistency, have the goal in your mind that what you actually want to do. Always have goals. It just that's the only thing which is gonna makes you go crazy and just keep on working. So that's all I'm gonna say for DSA, and I guess this is the time to end the video unless I have something really specific things in the end. Yeah, so that's all I have. I don't have much resources for DSA. Sorry, whoever was asking. but that's all I use. Like I just use lead code. I use Kunal Kushwaha's videos, and as I told you, you don't have to start all from basics. If you know direct, if you just know all the basics, then directly start with, I would say, linear search, this ninth video, and you can just keep doing. And if you wanna maintain some balance between CP and algo, sorry, DSA, then it's always good to have one day to both of them. One day I will try to do CP, one day I will try to do um, DSA, one day this, and the journey will go really smooth. So that's it for this video. Also, I had some script for this video, but I thought it might be bad for you guys. As you can see, it contains some blank spaces which many people won't be able to see, but who are really pro at things, they might be able to see all the code which I have written or all the script I have written. So be remember to come back after 3 months and see if you can guys can see after this all like hard work. Can you see the lines which contains the words or not, or you're still some guy who can't see the thing? Yeah, so as I've done the dumb joke, I guess this is time to end this video. If you guys have any questions, any doubts, anything else you would like to ask, or you would like to make some videos about any questions which you want me to make, and I'm already making some really different videos, so you guys can check out. And yeah, that's it. I don't know, I chose. Yeah. Oh wow, 25 subscribers. Yay. Yeah, so ignore these videos, and yeah, you guys can check out whatever you guys want. Ask me in the comment section. I've said the thing twice or thrice now, so I'll just stop the video. And yeah, that's it for this video. Wish Carter, guys. Oh yeah, damn. So that was my manager. Yeah. So if you guys like the content, then do like. If you didn't like the content, dislike. And as Muta says, I am out. Damn it, Lurid, give me some ending video.